We are back. All right, so I think my first objective, I'm pretty sure my hypothesis is correct in that in order to find purple weapons, right, just like the previous area, in order to find blue weapons, we needed to have a blue weapon, right? All the uniques and stuff became blue the moment you had a blue weapon. And I'm willing to bet the same is true in this area. So in order for us to find purple weapons, at least make our uniques purple, we're gonna have to get a purple weapon.
Would you care for a refreshment?
If you are looking for sanctuary, you have found it. The Gifted Magpie is a house of calm, rational discussion. We have only two rules of conduct. Maintain dignity and speak in a soft tone of voice. To put it gently, yes. Giata Castel is giving our governor a piece of her mind, loud enough to rattle the windows. Animancers are miracle workers, but their work breeds obsession, rivalry, and bitter disagreement. Consider the dream scourge. One crisis, many ways to manage it, all of them frustrating in their contradictions. This tea house is where troubled minds come to approach problems from a quieter angle.
Jesus Christ.
Regrettably, we are out of My stockpile is exhausted, and the harvest has not kept up with demand. We have other goods for sale, if you care to
The War Mage's Bracers. 15% shock damage, 10% less energy cost. That's pretty interesting. Practical pockets. A good ranger is prepared for nearly any challenge, but the best ranger has snacks on hand. No longer need my coat of mini pockets. We'll buy the coat of mini pockets treasure map. Why not? Jesus. Good Lord.
Spirits are truly wonderful. Powerful, self-aware, and reach with insight.
Insight, you say?
Indeed. The spirits have access to lifetimes of knowledge.
A little knowledge will do me good right about now. A pity I must wait and...
Souls are made of essence. Essence is made of what? Why are hostile spirits visible to the naked eye? Undiscovered gods. Okay. Excuse me. Wait just a good doggone minute. How do I get in this shop right here?
My invention is guaranteed to enlarge your essence. A moment of your time, my friend. Tell me, what do you know about your soul? Wrong. Your soul is an ancient, wondrous thing, suffused with lifetimes of rich, delicious memory. But it's tired, my friend, heavy with the burden of generations and too weak to survive another turning of the wheel. That's the beauty of it, the first treatments on the house. The moment you entered the city, I calibrated my invention to the highest setting and attuned it to your soul. So tell me, how do you feel? Better already, huh? Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. From this day forward, your life will be one of bliss and satisfaction. Do remember to tell your friends about all the benefits of animancy. Enjoy your soul.
You have a thing for sticking your head in the bear's mouth, don't you?
I suppose so, buddy.
Tiata, what's the meaning of this?
Look at these crops. Look at your city. The Dream Scourge is laying waste to our home.
There is no Dream Scourge in Emerald Stair.
The land begs to differ, and I can prove it.
We can discuss this in private.
We are discussing it now. How can you ignore what's right in front of you? The Dream Scourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us. Oh my goodness. Are you a godlike? Charmed. Forgive me for staring. It's just, we don't see many of your kind anymore.
Maybe you can talk some sense into our governor. Put the fear of the gods in him.
Tempers are high, but I don't see any assassins. Yet.
Excuse me, but unless you have official business, I'll thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion.
Did you hear that, Ignacy? You should be taking notes.
Ah, of course. The Adiran envoy. Ambassador Hilgard sent a missive telling me to expect you. How delightful. You speak with a measure of authority, but I caution you to remember who's in charge around here.
Now that's what I call a first impression. As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around, and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The Dream Scourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now, our farms. Then there's no time to waste arguing with bureaucrats.
I like her already.
I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the Dream Scourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust animancy as his father did.
As usual, Giatta never misses a chance to slander me. I don't ignore her concerns, only her methods.
And you still do nothing. Before we can deal with the Dream Scourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Must be nice that all the arguing isn't about you, for once.
I'm just trying to stop Giatta from hurting herself. Animancy is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark. I see you're unfamiliar with animancy. You don't appreciate just how dangerous that could be. Are you going to tell him about your family's basement? Or should I?
How dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident, but look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the Dream Scourge is tearing the living lands apart. Tearing our people apart. It's nothing. Our governor is backed into a corner and lashing out. I almost respect him for it. Buy me a drink sometime, and I'll tell you all about my family's basement. All of the above. I have a lot of forgetting to do. Well, Governor, Looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Giatta.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to the settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Giatta Castel, from this day forth, you are banished from Fior Messiverno.
Whoa, you're banishing her for that?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. Take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Giatta is an outcast.
It's a bit too soon to tell.
Governor, this is unacceptable. Your father would have kept this community together at any cost.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Messiverno. But you haven't even tried. Now limp back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west by the workshop.
Another mouth to feed. Maybe we'll need to let Kai hunt more after all.
Missing person. I'm offering a substantial reward to anyone who can locate the remains of Maxim Vidaro. He vanished in the wilderness of Emerald Stair 10 years ago. His journal is also missing. I'll accept it as proof of his discovery. Maxim was our founder, my father, and a devout Skyanite. He would not have left us without good reason, so I have every reason to believe he hasn't gone far.
One job, and I couldn't even do that.
Boryud. Well, I'll be a godlike in the bone and bore. Apologies for the ruckus outside. The animancers never know when to shut their mouth. Sounds like you've traveled a fair bit. Although even by Fior standards, tensions are at a breaking point. Except Giatta and Quilici, that is. They are the only animancers taking the Dream Scourge seriously. Try telling that to Vidaro and the animancers. But the rest of us, we've all heard the rumors from outside. Animals gone mad, terror stalking the wilderness day and night. Birth's bells, of course. If Emerald Stair runs out of food, we are in dire straits anyway. We've had crops fail before, but never food rations. The governor says it's just a temporary precaution, but I am not buying it. So, we ought to drink while we can. Agreed? Anything I can get you?
Six lockpicks. That'll do it.
The crops ruined. All.
Can anything be done?
Bly thinks I ought to give up farming. Leave.
Look out for her, Fidelio. How hard could that have been? If I could help myself, do you think I'd be in here? I don't mean that. I have a lot on my plate. I'd like to be. They're out searching. someone had to hold down the fort. My 2 youngest rangers were supposed to report back from their rounds. I assumed they'd turn up. But it's been 3 days now. They're still not here. Three times this month. They're going to be the death of me. They're besotted. I can't get them to think about anything else. Belena and Adelaro were my most promising recruits. Now, all they do is sneak off to, Oh, fine. Get right to it, then.
Well, there's worse places to make the four-legged beast. I promise you that.
New recruits running off with each other? Oh man, this brings me back.
Anyway, I never thought I had any cause for concern. They always found their way back eventually, but they haven't this time. They're out there, all alone, and they could be in danger, and I... What they're doing is their business, but rangers have to come when they are called. Wait, gods, they're relentless. The point is, they've never been gone this long. The last time I saw them, I sent them to patrol the northern riverbed. If you go that way, please, keep an eye out for them. I'm losing my mind in here.
2 young Nemdutin wandering out by a river. Consider them found.
Oh, man.
Maybe we don't look too soon. Give them a while. You know what I mean?
That did not go as I had planned.
What did you think would happen when you confronted him so?
Well, my first idea was to mess up his house. Maybe break a window or two.
Perhaps I should thank you for showing restraint.
I'm sorry you had to see that. What an asshole.
Giata, some manners, if you please.
Why start now?
We're on the verge of extinction, but our governor is too busy protecting his fragile ego. What does he know? He isn't even an animancer.
You did challenge his authority.
I know, but... curses. Without Fior Messiverno, I'm hardly even an animancer. My tools, the workshop, all gone.
I wish I could take credit for Giata's stubbornness, but she learned that on her own.
Thanks, old man. At least now I'm free to study whatever I want. On my terms. The Dream Scourge has been a thorn in my side for too long. I have plans for this island, and they don't involve the Dream Scourge. But that's a story for another day.
Your parents would be proud to see such tenacity.
Anyway, listen to us babble. Let's talk about you. I never expected to see an Adiran envoy here. You've got a lot of guts showing your face in a town full of animancers. Likewise. They should be educational for us both. Our first order of business is the Dream Scourge, but I'm also curious about you. There aren't many godlike left these days. Sorry. I only bring it up because Anamancy might offer us some insight into your nature. Keep an open mind. While I pack up my belongings, you can help me by... I don't even know. I just realized this is the end. I have to leave your Messiverno. forever.
Some people don't find out who they really are until they leave home.
You'll be all right. My advice, find a good tavern and learn how to prepare a squirrel over an open flame.
Maybe if I focus on what I have gained, I can learn to accept everything I've lost. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, we haven't been allowed to acknowledge the problem, much less act on a solution. Today, that changes. I need help from the animancers around town, but as you can see, I'm an outcast. Don't worry. Ignacy can't banish us all. Manto Pastor is in the workshop due west. He's got an invention that can help us. Elia Rossell is an authority on the undead. Her methods are controversial, but useful. She lives in a cottage southeast of town. And then there's Yvette and Remy, our philosophers. You'll find them at the docks, southeast of Fjord. Each of them owes me a favor. Drop my name, and they'll tell you what they know about the Dream Scourge. No one ever achieved the impossible without being a little unhinged. We're about to make history. But first, research.
Guessing she's not much of a hunter. Might want to get extra rations next time we go shopping.
Godlike, Imperial Envoy, Research Assistant. Who knew?
Oh, you startled me. This old woman can get lost in prayer from time to time. You must be the Adiran envoy I've been hearing about. Apologies for any hardships you may have experienced getting here. The failing crops, the strange beasts, and even the Dream Scourge are all the result of our neglect of the dead. I was calling on the spirits of the recently dead to follow the guidance of Bareth, God of Death. I am asking the spirits to forgive us for our negligence and continue on their way without anger. The dead of Fjord expect certain rituals to be carried out. I have failed to perform those rituals, and now the spirits are angry. Exactly the case. With everything happening and my own advanced age, I have had trouble keeping up. Our recent dead require a final meal to ease their passage from life. Without it, they can't rejoin the cycle.
You've got people waiting in line for their next meal, and you want to waste food on the dead?
I got food from the grain merchant stores. I just need someone to leave it at the graves. The dead will take it from there.
Flesh and bone. They bring the fruit to those who cannot eat. What tree calls for its branches to endure these rituals?
I did, yes. With things the way they are, there was no other way to get what I need for the ritual. If I didn't think this was important, I wouldn't have taken the food. But this ritual is the key to everything. I know Elena would understand how important it is to pay tribute to the dead. But this does help the living. By appeasing the dead, we end the dangers their anger caused. The crops will grow again. The Dream Scourge will end. All will be well once more. You must take these offerings of food and place them at 3 grave sites where the recently dead lay. The first offering goes to a cliffside grave on the southern coast. Loggers from the old days. They sacrificed themselves to make the land habitable and lost their lives to creatures of the untamed forest. The second offering goes to a grave in the swamp, far to the west from here. They buried the bodies of settlers there, intrepid sorts that tried to tame the farther reaches of Emerald Stairs wilds. The final offering should be taken to the truffle farm east of Fure, where a family lost their lives to the encroaching wilds. I understand how it looks, but appeasing the dead is vital, especially in times like these. I can't thank you enough for helping to ease the conscience of an old lady. Please, return when the rituals are complete.
I don't know. That seems wrong to be giving this food
Rejuvenate and revitalize your
to dead
personal
people,
essence.
right? When, as we know, like, people are starving here. They are out of food. And this woman is wanting to give food away to dead bodies as a part of, you know, some ritual. I don't know how I feel about that.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment. Well, I was not expecting such an esteemed guest in my humble workshop. Are you in need of any weapons or armor? The roads haven't been safe as of late. Is that Gelarde? This is star metal. Very rare stuff. Where did you get this? Nay, don't tell me. I'd be tempted to go looking for some more, and that would certainly not end well. No. Unfortunately, I don't know how to work the metal into anything useful. Only enchanted. I did receive a shipment from Sola's Keep recently, however. A mace crafted out of star metal, brought to me by a trader from Gallowayne's Tusks. I suggest you make your way there if you're looking for someone to work that beautiful metal into a proper weapon.
Gallowayne's Tusks? Come on, it can't be that complicated. I bet you 5 skates a Smith and Thirdborn would know what to do with this stuff. And I'll take your money eventually.
Is there anything else I can help you with, amigo?
Cool. Look at the goodies. Ooh, baby. Exceptional breastplate, exceptional plate armor. Oh man. Oh boy. Good God, 205, 196 stun. Jesus. Lodestone, this is what he was talking about. This is the mace. Yeah. Okay. Goodness gracious, dude. Look at this shit. 196 stun is crazy. Bellish puts on a fire and tell the story of its origin, the source of materials, sometimes even the deeds of the shooter. Cut from the forest to the emerald stair, the wood is cool and smooth, glinting like a kept secret. Whew. The deeds of the shooter, however, are yet to be defined. Huh. I don't know what I want to buy. There's so many options. Probably gonna buy an archivist though. Gun's always good. Gun's a good thing to have, you know what I mean? And plus, like I said, this should, if my theory stands correct. Oh, look at this thing. Look at it. Just look at it. Beautiful.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, amico.
Beautiful. And now our uniques that we find out in the world should be purple. And that means we'll have some better stuff to find. And we could save on, what, Awakened Adra that's needed to convert blues to purples? It's always good.
You ever think, what if I wasn't a ranger? Of course. What would you do? We've seen better days. With any luck, this will pass.
It gets dark here quick. This is still daytime, I think. I don't think there's a clock anywhere, but...
Arms up! Is that all you got?
Not bad, Marius.
Jesus. Oh, those are the ones that explode. Death blooms. Got it. It's all coming together.
Yeah.
Nice job, everyone.
Seen, unheard.
This one's mine.
Goodies, goodies.
Hail, godlike. Come, indulge me.
Which one of you just talked?
My champion. Never fall like those before you.
Jesus. Oh! That just fucking deleted.
The prize is yours, and our business concluded.
The sword?
Well.
Ooh. Ooh. Not a crazy bump of damage, but a big bump on stun. Also, full combo attacks deal high stun. Hits deal 10% bonus bleed damage. Ooh, it's got like a blood effect. Ooh. Reminds me of like something out of like Bloodborne or like a Souls game. Interesting. Let's read the tittle here. What's it called? Or it's called the Horse Cutter, but what's it? Description. How this elegantly made greatsword earned such a vicious name is a story that few know. After the Direwoodians secured their independence from Adir, many soldiers turned to banditry and mercenary work to earn their keep. This weapon belonged to one such soldier turned outlaw who amassed a sizable following of fellow displaced Adirans. This gang of brigands eventually found its way to Ixmatl, where horses are numerous. When food became scarce, the outlaws turned to raiding villages and farms for their horses to keep fed. These outlaws were supposedly met their end when an unnaturally large and aggressive herd of horses came seemingly out of nowhere and trampled them into the ground before vanishing into the plains as quickly as they had appeared. Interesting. Interesting. How did you, Mr. Skelly Boy, come to possess such a blade? Set a camp up. Where we got a camp at? Right here? It's a camp. Everybody's got shit to talk about, but first, full combo attacks deal high stun and bleed. Successful parries deal high stun to the attacking enemy. This is tricky. I'm probably going to go with this one because when I'm using a sword, I'm primarily overrun. You know what I mean? I'm primarily using a sword in a situation of which, you know, there's a lot going on. So I'm going to say cull the herd. Because single target, I can use the gun. I have spoken. Let's make this good shit. I need to do this in the right. Need to be doing this in the right direction here. I have not been doing so far. Let me do this right. All right. Can I upgrade this? No. I don't have enough steel. Damn.
Listen,
well,
Kai, I need you to stalk like a cat, not stomp around like a ballerina.
My training was a lot bigger on stomping than stalking, unfortunately.
Right, and I got cooking lessons in Solace, but you don't see me making beetle mash every night for dinner. The bears out here can hear a snapfly dropping Sokka from across the stair. You don't want to get eaten, you need to walk softly.
I'll remind you of that next time you start playing your flute at camp.
That is different. Bear's natural prey doesn't tend to play flutes.
They might show up to get you to stop.
I've had this flute for years, and I have yet to be killed by a bear.
On second thought, Maybe that's what's keeping them away.
Envoy? Well, that was interesting, right? That woman arguing about the crops failing? Standing up for what you believe against authority. I can respect that. Of course, my method would have been run away under the cover of night, never to return, but yeah, this works for her. It's more that I don't think my belief's worth standing up for. Life's simpler that way. Anyway, there's clearly more going on here than a bunch of animancers sitting in dusty labs doing whatever they do all day. Beyond that, nah, I can't help you. Call me when you're back to facing real danger. Right, changing the subject. Until next time.
You know, I've heard dueling is popular in the Valian republics. You wouldn't think a public argument could feel as brutal, but I'll be damned if Giada didn't draw blood. I wish I could say the same. Living Landers can be contrarian and combative. That's what sends a lot of us here in the first place. But it's still hard to swim against the tide with your own people, especially when it means getting them to face a hard truth. You can't mount an attack if you're questioning every detail of the battle plan. But what if you see you're charging into a trap? That's what I admire about Giada. She knows who she is and what she believes. She's got more clarity and conviction than I had at her age.
She has more clarity than you have now.
Hey, I am a willing victim of my own delusions.
Can we just talk about something else?
Hey, don't worry. We're talking about Giada's situation.
Right. Like, what did you think I was talking about?
Anyway, this can't be an easy time for Giada, but I'm glad to have her on our side. What's on your mind? And troubling. What was it she said? The Steel Garrote will ensure the safety of Adiran interests? They aren't going to make you any friends, that's for sure. Stay sharp. A storm's brewing. And better if we can find it before it finds us. It's been years. It was always green and overgrown, but I don't remember it being quite this. Yeah. Something about Emerald Stair has always been unsettling. Everything in the Living Lands grows wild, but it's different here. Those giant roots, whatever they are, I don't remember them being quite as big or close to the settlement.
You must have a death wish.
Marius is right, and I don't usually say that in front of him. If you see anything that looks like it's trying to hug you, draw your weapon or run. So did my commanding officer. You've heard everything I have to say about our crew. He was my commander and thirdborn, but he was more than that too. A mentor, friend. Tama helped me out when I first came to the Living Lands over a decade ago. I was still figuring myself out.
Was. This is you, having figured yourself out.
Hey, now I know I can't stomach rusk snout milk. As for what we'll find, I don't know any more than you. All I know is he said it was his most prized possession. And seeing as he was on his deathbed at the time, I wasn't of a mind to ask. Where to start? The man couldn't carry a tune, but it didn't stop him from trying. He'd have the whole tavern singing shanties with him nearly every night of the week. He had a vexing habit of saying the thing you most needed to hear when you were least ready to hear it. He'd give you the shirt off his back and the meat off his plate. But the selfish bastard left the rest of us a world without him in it. That obvious, huh? That's why I've got to put this to rest. I'll tell you what I can. If you get up in the night, don't wander too far.
Envoy? Right, changing the...
His, like, changing the subject is a little goofy, but whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is, man. Alright. I think our objective, once we hop out of this camp, this might be a next episode thing. I think I might take another hiatus here. But we're gonna start exploring. We're gonna carve out this chunk. We're gonna hit maybe this chunk. We're gonna start, you know what I mean? Hitting some of this stuff up. Hit this little island here. Start cutting away at the Emerald Stair here and see how much stuff we can find. But I think we'll start by just following the coastline over to here, and then go from there. But yeah, I think I'll pause it here. I'll take a little break. We'll pick it up right about here next time. I'll save. I'll start camp. All right. I will see y'all next time.